The first superpower, Persia's forgotten revolution. Before Rome, before Alexander, there was an empire that defied every rule. It wasn't built on brute conquest alone, but on a radical idea, that to rule many, you must respect them. This is the story of the Achaemenid Persian Empire. Not the story of a tyrant, but of the world's first administrative genius.
The Medes are defeated. Their king, Astyages, my own grandfather, is in chains. But his people, they are not our enemies. They are our neighbors. What if we did not crush them, but invited them to stand with us?
With that question, Cyrus began a revolution. He didn't slaughter the defeated Medes. He incorporated their nobility into his government. This would become his model. Cyrus's masterpiece was Babylon. The mighty city, ruled by the tyrannical Nabonidus, fell to him. But his entry was not a massacre. Here, history and scripture intersect. The Hebrew Bible records this not as a catastrophe, but as a divine deliverance. The book of Ezra states, "The Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, so that he made a proclamation. The Lord, the God of heaven, has given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he has charged me to build him a house at Jerusalem." Ezra 1:1-2.
I, Cyrus, king of the world, I did not allow anyone to terrorize the land. I gathered all their former inhabitants and restored to them their dwellings.
This Cyrus cylinder is our evidence. It decreed the return of displaced peoples and the restoration of their temples. For the Jews, it meant the end of the Babylonian exile. It was a policy of calculated tolerance. Worship your gods, keep your customs, but pay your taxes and keep the peace.
Cyrus gave us the idea. I will give it the bones and the nerves. We will build a machine for empire.
Darius the Great was the administrative architect. He faced an impossible task, governing over 20 different ethnic groups across 3 continents. His solution was a system of breathtaking modernity. The satrapies. He divided the empire into 20 provinces, or satrapies. Each was ruled by a governor, a military commander, and a royal secretary, all watching each other. The Royal Road. The animation shows the famous 1,500-mile road from Susa to Sardis. Royal couriers on fresh horses could traverse it in just 7 days. Nothing mortal travels faster than these Persian couriers, the Greek historian Herodotus would later marvel. Standardized currency. He introduced the daric, a gold coin of reliable weight, greasing the wheels of trade across the known world. This was the internet of the ancient world. Information was power, and Persia moved it faster than anyone thought possible. For nearly 2 centuries, this system created an unprecedented Pax Persica. Taxes were regular and fair. Pirates were cleared from the seas. Aramaic became the lingua franca of administration. The empire was less a crushing heel and more a complex, functioning ecosystem. My father was a builder. I am a king of kings. Those who defy the central authority defy the will of Ahura Mazda. The Greeks, these petty squabblers, will learn this. Here lies the seed of decline. Under Darius's son Xerxes, the tolerance grew thinner, the arrogance greater. The catastrophic defeats in the Greco-Persian wars showed the empire's limits. The machine was straining. The end came not from internal revolt, but from a singular external force, Alexander of Macedon. He didn't just defeat the Persian armies, he co-opted their entire system. When Alexander burned Persepolis, he was destroying a symbol, but he kept the satrapies, the roads, the administrative model. He had conquered the empire only to become its new emperor. The empire fell, but its ideas were immortal. Every empire that followed, from Rome to the Islamic caliphates, copied the Persian model of provinces roads, and standardized taxes. The veracity of its success is proven by its universal plagiarism. So what are the implications? What must we learn from these Persian kings? First, the lesson of tolerance as policy. Cyrus's tolerance wasn't modern multiculturalism, it was brilliant, pragmatic governance. Diversity was managed, not crushed. It asks us, is stability achieved through uniformity or through the respectful management of difference? Second, the lesson of infrastructure as power. The Royal Road wasn't about tourism. It was about control and economic integration. It reminds us that connectivity is the bedrock of any large-scale society. Finally, the biblical link is crucial. For the writers of the Hebrew Scriptures, Cyrus was God's anointed, a Messiah. This tells us that the Persian model of restoration was so profound, it was seen as divinely ordained. Their veracity was proven by their impact on the very course of Judeo-Christian history. What else should you know? We remember the Greeks as the founders of Western thought, but we live in a world built more on the Persian model. Vast, interconnected, bureaucratic, and striving to balance central authority with local diversity. The Achaemenid Empire is the ghost in the machine of every modern state. They taught the world how to run an empire. The question they leave us with is, in our quest for order and connectivity, how do we keep the wisdom of Cyrus and avoid the hubris of Xerxes? This is Hidden Histories. Like, share, and subscribe for more biblical mysteries, ancient truths, and forbidden knowledge revealed daily.